Hey, what's up, Des Moines? This is a quick demo video for you for your Mace Windu. This is a high-end collectible edition. I didn't bring the box out here with me, but anyway, I installed this with a Proffie 2.2. It's got a 2-button setup. Your 2 buttons are one's located under this gold switch here, or this gold square, and then your other one is this gold square right here. And then this middle piece is just a greebly, and then this is a greebly also. This greebly did have a hole that was drilled and tapped into it, like a screw was supposed to hold that in. But when you spun the inside around where the hole was to screw this in, it was missing the gold plating. So what I did was, I didn't want to sacrifice that. I thought it would look a little bit weird. So what I did was I put some E6000 on the bottom of this greebly right here, and that's what's holding that guy in. And yeah, that's what we did there. So this takes a 7/8 inch blade. You've got your 7-pin neopixel connector in there that we talked about. To get to everything, you want to unscrew the handle, just like this. Couple threads on here, no big deal, but this slides right off. I made this chassis an exact fit for this handle, so when you put it in here and the battery's in it especially, it's a nice snug fit, and everything lines up and fits just like it should. It's a pretty straightforward build. You have removable battery system here. Spring side is your negative, remember that. 24mm Smuggler's Outpost bass speaker here in the back. And then you do have access to your Proffie board right here if you just wanted to get to your micro SD. If you wanted to get to your SD card, you would need to take this chassis and pull it out. This does not have a chassis retention screw. It didn't have one in the hilt, and I didn't want to add one. So because I just didn't want to mess up the finish. So what I did is, as soon as you pull that chassis out, you'll see a piece of heat tape that I wrapped around the board and the inner chassis piece, so that you could slide this in here and it stays nice and snug. Sometimes I can get away with doing that. On this particular hilt, I was able to do that, and it holds very well. I mean, I could take it like this and shake it. That thing is in there really well. It does say the Solo Sabers over here in Arabesh, and then it says Mace Windu over here in Arabesh, and then BMF. So, I hope you like that. Let's throw a battery in it. Remember, spring side, you're negative. Now, I did find the Bmf Sound Font thanks to Sacktown Steve on Facebook. He shot that over to me because it's kind of hard to get. So I do have that on here with a purple blade. And that's the first font, so we'll go over it. One thing I would like to mention is when you put this battery in, make sure that you have the positive end pushed all the way down, just like that, so it's nice and even. So if it's not, you'll feel it right away when you get right here. It won't go any further. This one is in there all the way. It just needs to be all the way in the battery cradle. I don't leave much room there because I want the handle to actually assist in holding the battery in place. That's why the width is what it is and everything. When you slide it in there, there's no give, and then we just twist it on, just like here. Normally I would fire this guy up and not have a blade in it, but we're gonna go ahead and put a blade straight in it because you just have the pixel pins. I'm not gonna use your blade retention. All these holes right here, you've got one gold set screw right there. That is your blade retention. But this blade fits in here really tight, so we don't have to use it for the purpose of this demo. I only have this little 7/8 inch test blade, but it works just fine. Now, sometimes when I put my blade in, this blade has been sanded quite a bit and it's still very tight. So if you have a brand new blade, you're gonna spend some time sanding that guy. And then if it doesn't go straight in when you're trying to push it in, just give it a little twist like you're trying to screw it in until it goes in place, right? I've never got to play with this before.
I have had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane, motherfucker.
Now to get to get the color change mode, let's see if we can do it. Sometimes it's a little bit fickle with Proffie. There we go. See if we can get to a purple. There's kind of a purple right there. See if I get back to it. There we go. I don't know if it'll pick up really well on the camera whether or not that's purple, but it is purple. You can see it on my hand. And we'll twist it off. That is the Bmf font from Shamim, with a little bit of tweaking for a Proffie. Yeah. Blade. So when you're holding this guy, like this, and the buttons are facing up top, the left hand button is the activation, and then the right hand obviously is your auxiliary. So to change sound fonts, which we're going to do right now, tap the auxiliary button when the blade is off. Ignition, right? Nice smooth swing. The 24mm sounds really good in there. You just tap the activation when the blade is on to get your force effects, and then you can hold down the activation if you want to turn it off. But I just prefer to twist. Just like that, and then we'll go to the next one. And then swing on. You just tap for blaster deflex on your auxiliary, or hold it down for blade lockup. And then turn it off like that. And then I take the blade out the same way that I put it in. Same twisting motion. You always want to go clockwise with your twisting motion on your blade, because this piece right here on your emitter untwists and it comes off. So to stop it from doing that, if your blade is tight, just go clockwise going in and clockwise coming out. And then we'll just take the battery out real quick. This guy had a switch set up already in it, so that was very nice. I didn't have to do any modifications there. And came out pretty clean. So we get this like this, and you don't need a tool or anything. Just come in here and from the positive side, use your fingernail, and you can pop your battery right out. But anyway, that is your hilt. Let me know if you got any questions. If not, it's probably a little late to get out in the mail today, but I will have it out in the mail to you first thing Monday morning. Thanks.